Whoa, hello. We're live. How is everyone feeling? Are we ready to do this? Because I'm ready to do this. Okay, Deborah's in the house. She says, hi, beautiful humans. Joyful Tia, ATL Georgia, says, I missed it. Hello, everyone. With Aries and Taurus here. Then we have Chloe and Jennifer and Sugar Skull. And phenomenally Lady Ray is here. Senum Tarot Plus says, hi! Love that. Aaliyah is here. If you guys see me reaching over, it's because we're about to go live on Instagram in just a second too. But I want to say hi to my YouTube fans, not fans, but fam here. Jolene is here. She says, hey girl, hey. Okay, Tasha is here with the blue hearts. I always know to look for you, Tasha, because that's like your signature now. Okay, with the blue hearts. Boss Bliss is here. She says hello. Sarah A is here. She says hello as well. We have so many things that we need to talk about this afternoon. And hold on. Let me go ahead and pause the music in the background. Just a second. Got him. Okay, we have so many things that we need to talk about this live. There's a lot of change in the wind. I don't know if you guys are feeling it, but it is definitely present. It is here. It is happening. Turn the volume down over here as well. So I want to invite you to grab notes, grab paper, grab a pen. If you don't want to, then, Guava Berry is here too as well. Awesome. If you don't want to take notes, you don't have to. A lot of people like to just kind of chill and absorb all of the information that it is that we have here. Also, this video is going to be up on YouTube. So you'll be able to, gosh darn, you'll be able to revisit it and replay it. For those of you guys that are here in the YouTube live, we have 344 people here. I'm about to go live on Instagram. The reason why I'm going live on Instagram is because it helps to merge it helps to merge the different platforms here, and it makes it more accessible, the message to be more accessible. For when I go live on Instagram, do not click off and go over into the YouTube platform. The priority is YouTube, or don't click off and go to Instagram platform. The priority is YouTube. I'm kind of like twisted right now, but it is what it is. Okay, so I'm about to go live on Instagram in about 15 seconds. If you're following me on Instagram, you are going to get a notification, but stay with me here in the YouTube realms, and we're going to dive into details of what this week has in store and what it is that you can expect. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my iPad. We're going to go live on Instagram in 3, 2, 1. Notifications might come through, but ignore it. All right. So anyways, Blessed Energy is here and says, peace, blessings, sisters, Jess, and everyone. Absolutely. It feels really good to have you guys here. Bonnie Baxter says, what up? What up, Bonnie? Feels really good to have you here as well. Anna Jenga says, girl, hi. Jocelyn is here. Blessed Energy says hashtag Leo Nation. Oh my gosh, absolutely. Deborah says your sound healing moved me today. I needed it. Girl, there's plenty more where that came from. So I'm really excited to get this popping for you. Zulu Moonchild says, hey love, peace and love from California. It's good to have you, my love, here with us today. So hey everyone from Instagram, if you are tuning in from Instagram, my YouTube, you guys are watching on this side, but I'm looking over here on IG right now. But if you are watching on Instagram, I want to invite you to migrate over to YouTube, because at some point this is going to cut out and YouTube is my priority, but I'm just doing this to make it more accessible. All right. So basically what Astro Chat Live is, for those of you guys that are brand new and you haven't participated in this before, this is where we go through all of the details of this week. What is that you can expect, the highs, the lows, the in-between. I believe, and I say this over and over and over and over again, that if you know how to work with the planets, you can make them work for you and not against you. And basically, you just have to know what the energy is. It's almost like kind of predicting the enemy before the enemy arrives. And when the enemy arrives, you are already prepared for everything that it could bring. That's not to say that the planets or any energy is negative or bad or has malicious intent or anything like that. But if you know what it is that you're working with, then you can prepare. Let's say if you're having Christmas dinner and there's people who want, have different allergies or different food conditions, then knowing that, you can plan ahead, you can plan accordingly, and everyone can have an amazing meal and enjoy their time, and there won't be any blips. You won't have to take anyone to the hospital. You won't have to take a Benadryl and be out for the rest of the night, okay? So if you know what you're working with, you'll be able to make better moves, okay? Oh, look, I think Eric is here too. Eric, you should be driving right now. Don't make me check your location, boy. For those of you guys that have been accustomed to the Astro Chat lives, Eric is usually the moderator. He is here right now, it looks like, but I wasn't expecting that. But of course, honey, you know, I'm so excited to have you here. Mel and Ash are moderating from their side, monitoring. So if you see anything, or if you're wondering who Mel is, why she's, you know, moving things around, then that is to explain. That is to explain that. All right, so that being said, let's go ahead and dive in. I feel like we're ready. Mel says, hello. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about, and the first thing that we should talk about, is the fact that, well, I was going to talk about Mercury moving into the sign of Pisces, which happened today. But I feel like, as I'm even saying this, I feel like what we really need to do is we need to take a step back really quickly, and we need to talk about the fact that the sun is currently moving through the sign of Aquarius, and what does that mean for all of us as a whole? So it doesn't matter if you're an earth sign or a fire sign or a water sign. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your rising sign is. For the most part, we're all under this umbrella of energy, and it impacts us as a whole. It doesn't matter if you vibe well with Aquarius or if you don't vibe well with Aquarius. You're still under the influence of it. Just like if it was Leo or Virgo or Gemini or Sagittarius, we're all under the same umbrella effect. We're all under the same umbrella energy. Basically, what we've been experiencing the last week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks is a challenge from the universe. Well, maybe not last 3 weeks, but it's a challenge from the universe to separate yourself from things that you know no longer serve you. And this is not about what your heart wants. It's not about what your mind wants. It's about what your energy needs. Sometimes it is a permanent separation. Sometimes it's a temporary separation, but it's a separation nonetheless. That's the beauty of what Aquarius brings, is that it's a moment in time and space before we enter and collapse, not in a bad way, but it's almost like at the end of the night when you just fall into your bed after working really hard. When the sun moves into the sign of Pisces, that's when you can collapse into your bed, you can rest, go into your meditation and stuff like that more openly. But right now, the universe, the planets are guiding you and have been guiding all of us to really examine closely and observe our energy. How is this making me feel? What can I count on? What is inconsistent? What is no longer present, but I'm holding on to this memory because why? Why am I making this? Why does this have a space in my life? Why do I allow it to hold space within my life? And sometimes it's not the things that it is that we are consciously aware of. Let me turn this volume down because it's distracting me a little bit. Sometimes it's not what we're consciously aware of. It's a subconscious. It's the back of your mind. You're thinking about it, or it's bothering you, or it's ruffling your feathers, or it's just not serving your purpose. It's not serving a purpose. Let's say it's something that pops in and pops out. And it's almost like, and that's the thing, like we don't realize how much our brains are subconsciously like picking up on information or waiting or actively doing things. And we don't realize why is it that we're waiting? Why is it that I'm doing this? Why am I here? Why am I present? Why? We're not asking ourselves those questions. And in order to find those, to find the answers to those questions, we have to examine it, but sometimes we don't even know what it is that we're looking for. Like, if you can relate to this, let me know if you guys can relate to this. But how many of you guys can relate to, I just had a mind blank. How many of you guys can relate to wanting something, knowing that you want something specific, but at the same time, you don't know what it is that you're looking for? For example, like, let's say there's a healthy relationship or a job that it is that you want, and you're looking for it. You know that it's out there because you've heard it exists. You've heard that relationships and happy relationships do exist, but you don't, like, because of your experiences, because of your childhood, because of your upbringing, you don't even know exactly what it is that you're looking for. Like, I'm getting a lot of yeses over here, and I'm seeing some hearts up on this side. So yeah, there's a lot of people that can relate to me on this. And so the universe is compassionate and understanding with us and very forgiving with us in this like blind search, right? The universe is very compassionate with us. But at the same time, it's through our trial and error, through our ebbs and our flows, our ups and our downs, that we become closer and closer to realizing, okay, this doesn't work for me. This does work for me. This has to go. This can stay. And it's not always what logically makes sense. It's not always what the heart wants. It's what your energy needs. And what is happening and what has been happening is, as the sun is moving to the sign of Sagittarius, it's not so much a deep dive. Some of you guys aren't actively like doing the work, meaning like journaling or having conversations or going to therapy or doing meditations or that type of energy work. Maybe it's just you living your lives, like living your life basic, just everyday things, but observing and making notes of things and changing things, adjusting. So that's what it is that I'm seeing here. And others of you guys are actually doing the work, and there is no one is better than the other. We all have different journeys. We all have different paths, but some of the other group is actually journaling and writing things down and talking about things and has a tribe, a community where they're actively seeking to better themselves. Others are literally going on actual journeys, and through their lives, they get triggered by certain things, and then it makes a change. It switches things up. So that's ultimately what is that we've been seeing, that we've been under, is that I'm watching a lot of us kind of pulling out the plug and disconnecting from things that were short-circuiting, that aren't giving us life, that aren't giving us energy, that are exhausting us, that don't feel good, that don't serve our greater need or higher selves. And we have to do this from an intuitive space, from the higher self, if that makes any sense. Okay, so that's something that I wanted to talk to you guys about. The next thing, and I've got my chart down here, and it's pulled. I'm looking actually at the full moon, but I have it marked a little wonky right now because that's just my way. But Mercury. So as you guys know, Mercury rules communication. It rules thoughts. It rules what it is that we're thinking. It rules what we're speaking, contracts, contractual agreements, messengers, things of that nature, little working parts and stuff like that, right? Things that make our lives a little bit more convenient. But also Mercury is the messenger of the gods. That's the other thing too, that I'm like, why do people dog Mercury so much when that planet has such a beautiful impact on our lives, like such a significant impact on our lives? There are no mistakes. It's like when I see people dogging the planets when they're direct or going retrograde and they're doing what they do best, it's almost like when you watch someone in school who is going to school for medicine, but they're actually really a creative spirit, and they go to medicine and they like dog themselves and they wear themselves out and they whittle themselves thin. But it's like your natural gift is in the creative fields. And then the rest of the world will look at it and be like, well, why aren't you doing it our way? Why can't you excel in this? Why can't you exceed in this? And it's just like, well, you just have them in the wrong, like you're expecting not the right thing from them. Like you're not looking at their gifts. You're not looking at their strengths. You're comparing them and then saying that they're dysfunctional, when in reality they're living their truth, and they're just in a space that their gifts can't excel. I don't know why I'm having a hard time getting that out. But there's this quote, I feel like it's Albert Einstein that said it, he said, if you judge a fish by its ability to fly, then it's always going to be dysfunctional. Like it's never going to be like a success. It's never going to be a win. Because a fish wasn't meant to fly. A fish was meant to swim. The same thing with a bird. So that's what it is that I'm seeing with the planets. It's just like, these, don't compare them to things and be like, oh, this is bad. This is all, it's destroying things. It's making my life miserable. No, boo, you're making your life miserable by not being prepared, by not being flexible, by not being open to what the planets are trying to teach you. So, and if you actively push out those messages, if you actively run from the truth, if you actively don't want more for yourself, then guess what? You're never going to get better for yourself. You're never going to get more for yourself. You're just going to get stuck in the same place, the same time, never evolving, never doing better. So this is what I'm seeing as Mercury, literally the messenger of the gods. Shout out to Mercury, my ruler. He comes through and he's moving today, moves into the sign of Pisces. And Pisces is like, to me, it's like one of my favorite, hands down, one of my favorite signs. And the crazy thing is about that is that on a personal note, is that Mercury, ruling Virgo, I'm a Virgo, Mercury actually it's in its fall. So it can't excel in the same way that it would if it was in Gemini or Virgo, specifically Virgo. Mercury is actually exalted in the sign of Virgo. Of course it is. Anyways, but it's not, if you're trying to compare it to its normal condition, then of course it's going to be a recipe for quote unquote failure. But when Mercury moves into the sign of Pisces, yes, it's in its fall, but that's not going to bring us all down. We have to also trust fall with that planet. Falling is not always a bad thing. And rising up is not always a positive thing. Sometimes rising up is not good. You get too close to the sun, you burn yourself, you singe yourself. And sometimes falling is amazing. Falling can't be a negative thing. It could be a trust fall. You could be falling into the arms of the divine. It's all about perspective. And when you know what it is that you're working with, you can make it work for you, not against you, right? So when Mercury enters into Pisces, yes, it's in its fall, but you learn to trust fall with it. And basically what happens is you're really working with vibrations now. You're really working with energy. You have to really cancel out logic. You have to cancel out precision, which Mercury loves. Trust me on this. I'm a Virgo and I'm ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is exalted in the sign of Virgo, and I love precision. I love precision. I love consistent. I love accountability. I love self-improvement. And I also love perfection. I like things to be made efficient and to perfect to the point that they are excelling in their performance. And if you can't match that, we're not working usually cohesively. I kind of move forward, especially if it doesn't match with my vibe. So knowing that, me as a Virgo, I should be the first one complaining at the fact that Mercury is moving through the sign of Pisces now, but I wouldn't do that. Because Mercury moves to the sign of Pisces, I realize that I can't expect precision anymore. I can't expect perfection. That's not what this planet's goal and strength is. Now that energy switches up to vibrations and feelings and feeling things out. Watching how your energy changes when you contact or when you're in contact with certain people, when you're in contact with certain things, your energy and your vibes do not lie. Let me know by throwing some hearts up or putting some hearts in the comments if you walked into a room or you talk to someone and everyone can see them and they're like, okay, it seems right. Like logically this seems right, or this seems like a good person, but for something about them, the hair on the back of my neck rises up and I'm just not cool with this. Like something about it is not right. Something isn't right. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of comments here on YouTube. I'm definitely seeing a lot of hearts on this side on Instagram. So you guys can definitely relate to this. Kai Empress, what up, girl? She says, yes. And then puts the hearts in there too. That's wonderful. Yeah, you guys can really relate to this energy of being like something, I don't know what it is, but something ain't right. And some of you guys, you'll stick around and try to figure out what's going on. I don't know. At this point, I'm 32 years old. I don't stick around to figure out what is going on. Like, I just am like, you know what? The divine is telling me that I don't need to be here right now. So guess where I'm not going to be? Right here. And I will leave. I will leave. I will go somewhere else. And the interesting too about this is that at this point in my life is sometimes it's not even my own decisions. Like it's not my active decisions. I feel like the universe or the divine, will protect me and just cancel certain things out. And all I can do is just be like, okay, I'm not even mad at that. There's moments of disappointment and frustration, but for the most part, I'm like, do your thing. Don't let me get in your way, universe. You have looked out for me thus far. I am not going to question what's going on here. I'm going to trust, I'm going to move, I'm going to flow. You tell me what I need to do, and that's exactly what it is that I'm going to do. Right? Thank you so much, Tasha. I really appreciate your super chat. And I love the fact that the little hippo is spinning around in his office chair. That is so cute. That's so significant. All right, my loves. So that's something that I was seeing with that. Mercury moving to the sign of Pisces. It's really about following your vibes. It's things also, communication, it can get lost in translation. Not because people don't want to understand what it is that you're saying or they're not listening. I mean, how could they? Their minds are drifting. They're following their vibes. Nothing is really concrete. Everybody's just kind of feeling things out. If they're not, that's what they should be doing. If it's not communication, it's your thoughts. If it's not just your thoughts, it's your ideas. You want to do creative brainstorming. I actually called it dream storming, where you allow yourself to just kind of zone out. So many of us, right? We are trained now at this point that if we start zoning out, we're like, whoop, snap back in. And we won't even allow ourselves to space out. Because in our society, in a lot of societies, spacing out is deemed a bad thing. But where do you think creative ideas come from? Where do you think creative insight and clarity comes from, or intuition? Like, where do you think that comes from? That comes from the divine. And it comes from not containing and confining your thoughts and trying to box your thinking into one certain way from being free and expressing itself. And over time, it actually gets harder for you to go back to that original space where you actually allowed your imagination to fly. As children, when we stepped into this world, we had imaginary friends like left and right. We were coming up with all types of elaborate stories, channeling all types of crazy messages. And parents, adults, guardians would be like, where the hell did that come from? Where did it come from? They didn't confine themselves. Over time, depending on your upbringing, people start to tell you over time, they start to tell you like, okay, that's not real. That doesn't exist. You sound stupid right now. You sound crazy. And and because children don't want to rock the boat because that would, warrant like punishment or abandonment or whatever it is, we all kind of want to be accepted, because what happens if we're not accepted? When then we don't get taken care of, our needs won't get met. So there's a punishment when we're not confining, when we're not conforming. But there's a few children that did allow their imagination to roam and them to stretch the limits. What is the limit? The limit doesn't exist. You could keep going on and on and on, right? So that's what it is that we're experiencing starting today, starting February 3rd. Okay, there we go. So basically, from the 3rd, and now keep in mind too that our charts are so unique. Our astrology charts are so unique and so different per person. No one has the same astrology chart, even twins. So the way that this will impact you will be different. So let's say this falls in your home, like your 4th house. Let's say this aspect is influencing your 4th house. Then you can find yourself, wanting to come into the sanctuary of your home environment. Or you could find yourself being hypersensitive to your family, to the people that are like blood related to, and you might have to disconnect from that. Right? Or you might have a really incredible, enlightening conversation with your mother that provides a lot of like insight and clarity into who you are, or you better understand her. Those are some things that you can expect, but it literally depends on your personal chart. But for the most part, you have to take this message and then apply it to this specific area in your life if you're checking your natal chart. And basically, this is what Pisces rules within your chart, right? For me, Pisces rules my 10th house of career. So, of course, I was naturally going to be drawn to the occult and spirituality and healing and mysticism and astrology and those types of things, and the subconscious, understanding the subconscious. And then me being ruled by Mercury, then I ended up being the healer to the gods, essentially. Anyways, so moving forward, it's, again, like I was saying, it's different per person. It's different for everybody. And everyone's astrology charts are so unique, but we're all, again, under the same umbrella effect, influence, as above, so below. Shout out to Mel and Eric, who right now are working on navigating through the comments right now, which I really appreciate. So for those of you guys that are interested or are in creative fields or writing books or anything like that, where you have the ability to create, if you're working in the realms of healing, esoteric, spiritual studies, this is a great start this week in order to focus on those realms and to allow yourself to do what it is that you do best. Your gifts, everyone has a gift, but really stretch your gift muscle and use it to help people, use it to help yourself. I don't know if you guys can relate to this, and hearts in the comments if you can relate to this, and hearts on the screen, tap the screen if you can relate to this, but the healers need healing. Oh, like for real, for real. Let me say that again. The healers, okay, they too need healing. The cheerleaders need cheerleaders. Those who are there for everyone need someone there for them. I'll wait. Yeah, my screen is lighting up right here. It's so true. And the crazy thing is that the same people who are always there for everyone else, God forbid they ask for help. It's like a shock throughout the entire system. They'll be like, oh my God, you need help? Like, yeah, of course I do. I'm human. Did you forget that? Of course I need help. Help me, right? This is the time. I'm getting a lot of hearts in this comment. In over here, the essence of jazz says, yes, the F I do. Yes, speak on it. It is so true. The healers need healing as well. If you don't have my comments on YouTube are lit up right now, you guys. Oh, I love that. Loving it. All right. So if you can't find someone to help you, like let's say you do energy work, then let's say you do energy work and you're looking for a Reiki healer to do Reiki on you. Do the Reiki work on yourself. Do the Reiki work on yourself. Do not ignore yourself just because you are a gifted person or a talented person. You too need healing. We are all equal human. Like we all are equal amounts of human and spiritual. And we can't be doing it all by ourselves all the time. We have to have someone there fighting for us. And if you're doing it for yourself all the time, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to collapse. It's going to be no more good. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting notifications on my phone. Yeah. So the healers need healing too. Starting today, it's okay to invite in that healing. It's okay to call that healing in. It's okay for you to ask for help. It's okay for you to direct that healing yourself. Use meditations, use guided meditations. You don't have to be a professional at it. That's the thing too, is that to this day, I have energy readings, like shares that I do with people that I love. And I'm a very protected, private person. I don't share my shit with anybody. Even in my personal life, I don't think I tell any one person everything. I almost like sprinkle stuff. And I can't tell right now at this point in my life if that's the best thing or if there should be. I don't know. That's just always been my way, is that I just am very, very private and very protective of myself. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I feel like when, like, even me, like I have readers that we'll do exchanges with where I'll be like, yo, pull my chart, I'll read your cards. All right. Or I'll get a text message, Jess, read my cards. Or I'll read your cards and then can you pull my chart? There's something going on. Abso-fucking-lutely. I have time at 5:30 p.m. on Tuesday and it's 7:30 p.m. on Monday. It is you and I's time. You have to make those times out for yourself. It is okay, it is good, and it is right to ask for help and to get the same gift that you're giving to everyone else, to give it to yourself, especially when it comes to healing. Okay? The same thing comes with conversations, with being there for your friends, being there for your family. At some point, someone's going to be there for you. When Mercury moves into the sign of Pisces, this is the time for you to receive it. It's so true. It is very true that Mercury moving to the sign of Pisces starts to come into this energy of like martyr, meaning like the person, like not only say a savior, but the person who comes in and heals everyone. And that you are called to do that. But at the same time, that energy has to be reciprocated. It has to. That's the way that the healing occurs, right? So that's what it is that we're seeing here this week, at the start of this week, and moving into the weeks to come, especially the next 3 weeks, and then add on to that too, add tax onto that, because Mercury then is going to go retrograde. Now, I talked about this. Mercury's going to go retrograde on the 17th, though, for those of you guys that don't know, make a note of it, right? I talked about this in my video, my recent video. If anybody starts complaining about Mercury retrograde, you're getting blocked. I'm not kidding. Don't complain about Mercury retrograde. If I see it, Mel, if you see someone complaining about Mercury retrograde, block them. I'm just kidding. Don't do it. The reason why is because I'm just so sick and tired of hearing people say that Mercury retrograde is one of the worst things ever. What ends up happening is that if you have ideas, you guys, if you have moments of insight, clarity, divine intervention, things that you've missed because you're living your life, paying too much attention to detail or looking too much at the bigger picture, Mercury retrograde says, wait, come on back. I need you to see this here. And you're like, I would have missed that if I didn't have Mercury retrograde working on my behalf. Do not talk shit on Mercury retrograde. Don't do it anymore. If you hear it, cancel it. If you see anybody complaining about Mercury retrograde, unfollow them ASAP Rocky. Get rid of it. You don't need that negativity in your life. You just don't. Trust and believe the same people who are complaining about Mercury retrograde are the same people who are going to lead that ship in, like off a bridge somewhere. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? All right. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Sarah says, it's so hard to ask for help. Yes, but do it anyway. Girl, do it anyway. I know that it's hard, but do it anyway. And the thing is that the hardest things get easier over time. Nothing stays hard forever unless it does. It gets easier over time. That's like the worst quote ever. Nothing stays hard over time unless it does. Anyways, moving forward. Look at that. I'm not even looking at my notes. This is just me free flowing. Isn't that beautiful? This is how you know I have a gift. Okay. So if you follow my words, if you're marking this down, if you're putting little notes in your calendar, then this weekend, the weekend that just passed, we can't go back in the past. It is what it is. But into the rest of this week, you should and will be open to receiving divine insight. If you want to work with prophetic dreams, with calling out to your angels and your guides to speak to you, or calling out to God or the divine or whoever to speak to you while you're sleeping, now would be a great time to do it. Now would be a great time to really take time outs. I know it's kind of impossible. I feel like sometimes my standards for my spiritual practice, other people hold the same standards for themselves. Don't do it. My standards are impossible sometimes. That's just Virgo mentality. And also I've dedicated my entire life to this, you guys. It is relentless over here. So don't compare your journey to my journey. We all have different journeys. We all have different lives. There's going to be things that you excel in and things that I'm going to suck at. And I'm going to have to go to you and I'm going to be like, ting, ting, ting. Is this thing on? Hey, what's up? I need help. What's up? Can you help me do my taxes? Because I suck at numbers, right? Everyone has their strengths and their weaknesses. But if there is a time where you want to allot a little bit more than your usual, if you slip off on your spiritual, journey with meditating and brainstorming and creative energy, this would be a great time, put a little pin in this, put a little star next to it, to capitalize on your creative energies, to capitalize on your intuitive gifts, to capitalize on tapping into the dream realms. Why can't I say that? The dream realms, the subconscious, healing, book therapy sessions. That's another thing too. We're working with the subconscious mind. So go ahead and book therapy sessions. Go ahead and book counselors, whatever it is that you need to kind of unwind the yarn that life sometimes binds things into. Sometimes over time, if you're just moving things, you're not doing anything wrong, but what ends up happening is that yarn starts accidentally getting knotted. It's no fault of your own, it's just circumstantial. And basically whatever that is, it helps you to make sense of what happened as things were moving forward, right? So I would say if you normally do 22 minutes of meditation, I always say that that's minimum. If you do 22 minutes of meditation, do 30, do 40. If you normally have the kids, I know this is impossible. I don't have children, so I can't speak on this precisely. But let's say if you normally have the kids jumping around, at 7 o'clock, and I know this is impossible. I I don't have children, so I can only imagine how difficult it must be. But if they're normally jumping around at 7 is a time for everyone to unwind. Like, it is quiet time. No TV, no sugar, no nothing that gets them all wired up. Give them 2 freaking hours or however long it takes for them to unwind themselves. 7, 8, 9 o'clock, lights out. I don't even want to hear it. You say something and you're sleeping out back. Try me. Try me. I will have you sleeping out in the backyard in a tent until you can figure it out. I'm just kidding. Don't do that to your children, and don't flag me as for children abuse. That's not something that I'm, trying to speak into existence here. But, basically what I'm saying is that whatever it is that you have to do in order to make that special time for yourself is what it is that I want to encourage you to do starting now. It doesn't have to be forever. It's a temporary recommitment to brainstorming, dreamscaping, and giving back to yourself so that you can then take your gifts and give it to others. LSD Washington says, you're sleeping out back. She gets it. J. Lou says, such a Virgo. Yo. All right. Having said that, on the 5th, right? So that's the thing about astrology, is that we're working with energy of the planets. Yes, there's specific times and dates where these things happen. They occur with precision and perfection, but the energy, even though it's perfect, even though it's manifesting itself, it will bleed out. It doesn't say, oh, look at the time. It's February 5th at 3:03 a.m. Time for me to fuck shit up. Like, it doesn't say that. It says that energy gets closer and closer and closer and closer and closer. So it kind of builds up in intensity, and then it passes. It keeps going. And that energy can bleed into the entire week. So on the 5th, Mercury sextiles Uranus, right? Semois says, Jess, do you believe in palmistry? I don't know why that caught my eye just now. It's one of those things, palmistry. I don't know how I just got derailed, but it's one of those things that there's not enough factual evidence to support it. So I can't say that I do 1000% believe in palmistry. If I had to say if there's a percentage of how much I believe in palmistry, I would literally, at this point in my journey, I would give it about, this is rude, but 7%. I don't really feel like there's conclusive evidence to support. And I've done some research on palmistry. I'm by no means a professional on it, but it's not something that I'm like 100%. Astrology is something that I do believe in, because before I even believed in it, I was pulling charts using math angles, and science, like studies of it, making these hypotheses and like pulling these numbers and stuff like that, or pulling the angles and being like, a child should enter the world at this point. Where is that child? And then it'd be like, well, that's when my daughter was born, and I could keep doing that. So astrology, I can say like 115% I believe in, because over time it's proven itself again and again and again that my predictions and timing play out, and the cycles of life are very consistent. But I can't say, I haven't completely written it off because my brain is still open to hearing, but I don't have enough evidence to support that palmistry is real. And I know that that's something that people will be like, wow, you're so spiritual. Like, I would almost assume that you would believe those things. Well, boo, that's what happens when you assume. Don't make assumptions. Anyways, you don't know me. I don't like it when people make assumptions, but I love that question, and I'm glad that you asked it. But okay, so on the 5th, again, Mercury is going to be sextile with Uranus. And basically what this is, it's the energy of those planets are agreeable. They're like, yo, what you got going on over there, Uranus? And Uranus is like, nachos, you want some? And then Mercury is like, yo, I shouldn't, but and then he comes moseying on over. They start talking, and then bing, oh my God. So glad that we did that. So glad that you saw me. So glad that we crossed paths, because now I have a good idea. Literally, that's the energy of what these planets can bring. They can give you really good ideas, really groundbreaking moments, messages out of the thin air. You wouldn't even expect to hear from someone, and you get a text message from them, and you're like, holy hell, like, I haven't heard from you in like forever, but that's weird because I was thinking about you. Like, that's what it is that we're working with. And the reason why your response to it would be like, that's really weird because I was thinking about you, is because Mercury is moving through the sign of Pisces. So your intuition is heightened. It may not even make sense to you. You may hear a song, you may think about someone, and literally 2 days later, 3 days later, they text you like, hey, what's up? Or you guys cross paths. Gender Trash just says, yo, that just happened today. See? Literally, see? Wait, hold on. My Jones Black Honey Dash says, I have children and melatonin pills are miracle workers. There you go, parents. And I'm going to make a note for that when I have children in the future. Melatonin pills are where it's at, apparently. I would probably make them tea. Like, I would probably make, me personally, I would probably make it tea. But I definitely heard that melatonin works. I've used it before. Like, I've taken melatonin. And they actually have melatonin pills for children now, like little gummies. Oh, shit. Wait, hold on. Bonnie Baxter says, stay away from melatonin pills. Well, there you go. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, someone brought, It's Kellis says, astrocartography. Would love to hear your take, Jess. Girl, look. I can talk about astrocartography for too long. Like, that was, when people book a reading with me, I will be like, if they mention travel, I'm like, say no more, fam. It would add 30 minutes onto the reading accidentally because I'm ready to dive into the details if I have the time to do it. I love astrocartography. I am obsessed with it. I am obsessed. And medical astrology are two things that I've been studying and loving lately. Anyways, on the 7th, Venus moves into the sign of Aries. Let me check my time, 41 minutes. Wonderful. Let me check Instagram over here. How you guys doing? Why aren't you on YouTube right now? Why are you guys on the, I want to call it Twitter, but it's not Twitter. This is Instagram. Jelly J777 says, I make my daughter tea with chamomile and hops, lavender, and rose. That works too. That's a blend that I would make, and I would put a little splash of almond milk or coconut milk in there. Alvin, hi, honey. I just followed you recently. I love your vibe. As soon as I saw your Instagram, I was like, yes, my people, my people. So good to see you, my love, and I'm happy to see you here. It's so wonderful. Love Signal Chat says, LOL, T-Town is giving me heart faces. Wait, Carrie says, random question. Do you have an ancestor altar? Yes, I do. Are you in my apartment right now? Do you know? Do you see me? Okay, I am Natural Mystic says, what do you think of personal charts, Jess? I don't understand the question. What do I think about them? I have so many thoughts. Ask me specifically. Awoken Unity says, Jess, you're dope as fuck. No, my dear, you are. Magic of Eden says, do you think witches have to know astrology in order to have a successful spiritual business? Absolutely not. I don't know why I felt the need to do that, but that's what we're doing now. No, you don't need to know astrology. Follow your way. There's no rhyme. There's no rules for witchcraft, magic, setting intention, your beliefs. Come on. Come on. All right, you guys. So moving back, and side note, Instagram, move on over to YouTube. What is you doing? I'm just kidding. I wouldn't be live on this platform if I didn't want to be. Trust and believe. Okay. On the 7th, yeah, Venus moves into the sign of Aries, and this is when shit gets weird. I'm just kidding. It doesn't. This is when we really, when people are like, don't talk about it, be about it, think about it. This is what it is that we're seeing. It's just like, if you love me, let me know, show me, prove it, do it. What? I know you have it in you. That's the thing about Aries energy, is that it is very capable, but if it doesn't want to. Having said that, apply that message to any area of your life, especially when it comes to Venus. Yes, Venus rules relationships. Yes, Venus rules love and beauty and aesthetic and value. But like I was saying in my recent video, it's about what is that we're attracted to. It's what is that we're attracting? What is it that we're pulling in? What is it that we're like, oh no, oh no, oh no. I was just having this conversation with one of my best friends recently when we were talking about like dating, when there's like a good guy where we're both, me and my friend, are straight. This one in particular. And she was just like, we're both saying like, oh yeah, he's so nice. Ew, like, ew, gross. Like, why is he always texting me back? Like, he's putting a lot of effort in. Calm down, crazy. But it's like, you start to question, this is just a personal note, but you really start to, at some point you should ask yourself, why don't I like the nice guy? Like, why is that my reality? Now, I don't want to speak that into existence anymore because I've actually been entertaining those guys and I've been really liking the switch up. Hashtag King of Cups vibes on 6,000%. I am here for it, bitch. But no, for real, like we really want to be very mindful and aware of what is it that we're attracted to. Why do I keep finding myself in this situation? It's not just relationships, it's all situationships. Your job, the food that is that you're eating, the workout plans that is that you're doing, your lifestyle, your sofa choices. Why are you choosing the same thing? It could literally, you guys, that's how important this is. Hear me on this, both platforms. I move a lot, and I've noticed as I move that people end up picking, like they end up like liking something other than what it is that they pick, but they pick the easy way out. Like, let's say their living room, like a lot of people have like the white aesthetic living room. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I actually used to be obsessed with white living rooms, but they pick white, they pick cream colors, and they find themselves being drawn to something else, but they end up choosing something else. Why? Because it's easy, because it's convenient, because it's affordable, and they end up settling. And that's the smallest metaphor, but it is really freaking powerful because it's like, it really shows your mind. It shows you that you actually love gold, like you love sparkling, you like mirror things, you like glitter, but you see that, you're drawn to it, and you still choose this. And you set your entire living space, your sanctuary, based upon not basic, but based upon easy, based upon convenience. And your entire life, that's your sanctuary. Where else are you doing this in the rest of your life? And I'm just talking about interior design, you guys. That's just interior design. I love my crystal bowls right now. There's like no need for that. Yeah, right? T-Town says, I love glitter. Me too. I love glitter. Same thing with our jobs, like what is that we're naturally drawn to with nail polish. When I was working for corporate America, there were certain colors that I would not choose, that I wanted to choose it, but I wouldn't even allow myself to see it, and I wouldn't even allow myself to consider it, because if I was to go into the office on Monday morning, what would people say? Everyone else would have like these neutral colors on their nails. And I'm the biggest hypocrite right now because I don't know if you guys can see it, but I have a French manicure, and that used to be my go-to. And I just recently returned back to the French manicure. I don't hate it. I kind of like it, but I was actually going to pick neon green. And it was that's just what I was wanting. I was feeling very Virgo at the time. So I chose that. But it just goes to show you, like, what is it that you're attracted to that you won't allow yourself to receive? And what is it that you are settling for in all areas of your life? You have the capacity to do it, like you have the potential to do it, but yet you choose not to. When Venus moves into the sign of Aries, I really want you guys to take that step to really pursue the things that it is that you're attracted to make them a priority, and to put all of your energy, your effort, because that's the thing that I know about Aries energy as a whole, is that when it is invested in something, when it is pursuing something, it goes in there. It is relentless energy. Nothing can stop it. Can't stop, won't stop. Unless something else is a priority to it, unless there's something else that's more important. And if that's the case, then it's like whatever that thing was before is now, not important anymore. It is what it is. But then knowing that, you have to decide, okay, what is it that I'm going to do with this? But I want to challenge you guys on the 7th, as Venus moves into the sign of Aries, be very aware, and like, especially because it's not just this. That's the thing about astrology reading. Oh, hi, boo. Turon is here, and he says, mostly I'm settling for Papa John's, and I deserve Pizza Delicious. Okay, so there you go. That is ridiculous, but it's the truth. Why settle for Papa John's pizza when you could get that oven pizza, that oven fire pizza? I love that pizza. Nomad, he says, hey, what's up? I did not know that you're following me. Good to see you here. That's awesome. Anyways, yeah, so when this energy, when Venus moves into the sign of Aries, it's not just this specific transit. It's all of the transits, you guys. I would not be an excellent astrologer, not even a good astrologer, but I wouldn't be an excellent astrologer if I was only paying attention to these tiny transits. We have to look at the bigger picture. We have to look at how all of these energies all together are working to create this recipe, this energy that we're dealing with now. It's not just, oh, this is just happening over here and then this is happening over here. No, it's all happening and this is what is being created here. So when I'm saying that, as Venus is moving to the sign of Aries, and as Mercury is moving to the sign of Pisces, and as the sun is moving through the sign of Aquarius, all of those, and as the full moon is going to be happening on the 9th, in the sign of Leo, all of these components together are creating the energy of what is that we've got going on now. So pay attention to your vibes, detach from what is that you normally know of yourself and what is that you want for yourself. Pursue the things that it is that you love. Do it with a fever. Do it with a fire. Do it as if it's like life or death. Like if you could not have tomorrow and there's something, someone, some aspect of something that you would love to have in your life, that you would want to embrace it, that if you could, if you had no restrictions, if you had nothing holding you back, what would you do? Pursue it with a fire. Because again, tomorrow's outside of the fact that tomorrow isn't promised, but you have a whole bunch of planets right now that are bigger than you and I, that are lending their energy to you and telling you, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Right? Rami says, like the girl dancing to, she's a maniac, maniac. That's so funny because when I read that, I didn't read it normally. I heard the song, so I love that you. The little gypsy. I love your name too, especially how you spell it. Says, this is our time, fam. She gets it. She gets it. Okay. We're checking out these comments over here. Are you kidding me? Cummy Spam says, what about Mercury and Pisces? Are you just tuning in? You're going to have to revisit because I spent a good 30 minutes talking about Mercury and Pisces, my love. Welcome. Mercury and Pisces is already hitting you because you weren't focused or you weren't here. That's fine. No shade, no hate. I love it. I'm glad that you are here and I'm glad that you asked that question. It's interesting too that your Instagram name. So I'm wondering if that is your Instagram name. Fluidly Golden says, I would love a reading. That's on my website. Okay, so on the 9th, we have the Kim. I love you too. Thank you. On the 9th, we have the full moon happening in the sign of Leo. And people like okay, wait. Put in your stereotypes. No, you're fine. She says, oops, sorry. You're good. You're good, boo. Story time with Tay says, I loved your crystal bowl sound bath. Me too. I've got another one coming. I think I want to do like a full moon meditation, but I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do a meditation or if I'm going to do the oils. We'll see, you guys. Let me know down in the comments. Put in the comments stereotypes. We don't have a whole lot of time. We're going to run out of time very soon. But put in the comments stereotypes for Leos. If you know anything about astrology. And if you don't, just throw a stereotype in there. But don't be offensive. We're not talking about racial stereotypes or sexism stereotypes. That's what we're not doing. Okay? We're close, but we're not that close. Okay? Don't do it. You've been warned. Okay, Ollie says, cocky. That's a very good one. Cheaters. Oh, that escalated. Cheaters. Which one of you guys burned them? Guavaberry says, passionate. Deja, thank you so much for your super chat. I'm going to catch up with that later. Lindsay says, loud. Shannon says, bossy. Louis says, veneer, but I think you want to say vanity. I get it. Attitude. Leo. Okay, wait, hold on. Kind, loyal, determined, witty and determined. Dancers, cocky, beautiful. You must be a Leo. Controlling, vain, dancers, famous, egotistical, liars, materialistic, loud, high vibes, kings, opinionated, strong. Jess, I see you. Okay. Okay, queens, Leos equal. Okay, wait. Damn, these comments are coming through real fast. Tuxedo fucking mask. I don't know what that is, but you got blocked anyways. I don't know why. Big dick energy. Yes, Katie, that's true. Well, I don't know. Drama lovers, attention whores, controlling, passionate, aggressive, sensitive, sarcastic AF. That sounds more like a Virgo to me. Look at me. I'm a Leo. Oh yeah, true. Creative, vanity. I'm a Leo moon, Pisces sun, crazy mix of fiery, stubborn, emotional energy. Royal Empire Vlog says $75. I appreciate it so much. I love that. Bossy, I appreciate your super chats. I love you, girl. I love you more. Go getters. Big dick energy, faux show, stubborn, generous. Okay, the best. Wow, you must be a Leo as well. That's very Leo of you. Okay. PZ Cherokee says, I've never seen a chat move this fast. Yes, welcome to it. Welcome. So strong, selfish, loyal, and extremely bossy. Hustle Made says, I am all of these. Yeah. So the thing is, all of those stereotypes, for the most part, they're fun. Someone said fake. My three favorites are cheaters, liars, bossy. I like those. Blanca Toro said, oh, little pear guy. He's so cute. I love him. He's so cute. But what was I saying? Oh, in some way, you know, those are the more negative. Someone said annoying. Damn. But some of those stereotypes are accurate. I mean, it depends on the person. So their sun sign, I'm not going to go into the details of it, but your sun sign is only like 10% of what makes you. Like it is important, but it's not a whole. You want to see the entire. Nicole D. Ward says, oh, see me, Jess. I see you, boo. I see you. I see all of you guys. You may not notice it, but I do. Or you may not know that I do, but do know that I do notice you. That was a tongue twister. But really, when I think of Leo, not that my perception of Leo trumps all of you guys. We have 800 people in the comments over here, and then 99. Wow, Instagram is slacking, which is good, because if 99 that are over here should be on YouTube right now. That's fine, because we could push that up to 900. Come on. Okay, but not that my opinion of it trumps it, but when I think of Leo, I think of the heart. I think of passion. And that's the reason why it's like almost the center of the universe, outside of the fact that Leo is ruled by the sun, which is the center of our galaxy. But it's like without the heart, without the energy of the heart, the center of our body, right? If we cut off our limbs, if we cut off our head, our heart is literally at the center of it, and everything kind of, spans out from this space. And that is so symbolic and so significant, but it's a challenge to you and to remind you to follow the heat of the heart, to give life to the heart, and to pursue those things, and to believe in yourself enough to take that big step, to put yourself out there, to love yourself enough to speak up despite all of the outside world being like, oh, boo, you ain't shit. Like, what do you mean I'm not shit? Like, have you not seen all of what I can do, and all of what I love, and all of who I am? That's the energy that Leo brings, right? So when we have the full moon in the sign of Leo, it's really a reminder, because the full moon is happening the moon is on in the sign of Leo, and the very opposite of that is Aquarius. Aquarius, the sun is moving through the sign of Aquarius, and that's how the full moon occurs. And basically what happens is that the sun's detachment, meaning like the sun and the energy of detachment and separation, and this higher, we want to do this for the greater good for humanity. It says separate from our I don't know why the word is like seasoned, but the things that we're seasoned to do, that we're accustomed to do, separate from those things and pull into the heart space. We want to expose the heart. I'm literally shining all of my light onto the moon that's moving through the sign of Leo, because I want you to disconnect from all of the chaos, all of the madness, cut the umbilical cord, cut these crosses, cut these curses, anything that is not serving you, that isn't right. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat and your note. I'm reading it right now. All these things that aren't right, not only logically or emotionally, but intuitively, the vibe isn't right. There are some things in your life right now that are taking up space, that they can pop in and pop out as they want, or certain things are just like in your physical space, in your sanctuary, they need to be thrown away. And having all that space, it stops you from wanting more for yourself, because the space, there's no void. So you're just kind of entertaining it. And basically what happens with the full moon is that energy says, we're not even going to allow you we're not going to allow you to entertain this anymore. We're not going to allow you to ignore this big pile of clothes sitting in the corner of your room. Go take care of it. Or we're not going to allow you to ignore the fact that you need healing. We're not going to allow you to ignore the fact that you've been putting work a priority, or your new relationship or 3-year relationship with your girlfriend has been a priority, or the fact that you've been entertaining all of your friendships or keeping people on a superficial level, but you don't have anyone intimately that you're connecting with. You cannot ignore it anymore. Go back to the heart. So that's what it is that we're going to be seeing with the full moon. It's going to be different for everyone. Instagram, I'm about to knock you off, not because I don't love you, because I do, I swear I do. But yeah, you're about to get like cut off anyways. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on this side. And if you want to continue on, then move on to the YouTube platform. I love you. Thank you so much for watching. Keep me. Share to story. Don't mind if I do. I don't know. Ow! I don't know if that worked. There are wires all over this place, you guys. It's unbelievable. Yeah, so like I was saying, full moon in Leo and the Aquarius sun. Yeah, there's I don't know what, I've been like getting a lot of like Disney references lately, but it's like people who have a song on their heart, right? So let's say it's not a song, but for some of you guys, it is a song. There's if we were to be who we are and not hold any aspect of ourselves back and just release and creatively express our true nature, what we love, what we don't like, what hurts us, what heals us, what feels good, what feels bad. If we were to be honest and authentic and to express it in this like no holds back, like you're holding nothing back, it's almost childlike. Like if you watch children when they're playing, they are in the moment, you guys. They're not thinking, oh shit, I've got 15 minutes to play and then I gotta go inside and pay my bills. Like kids aren't on the playground thinking that. They're just like, I'm over here, I'm swinging on to that, they took my ball, I'm going to go cry, I fell, I hurt myself, this thing hurts. That level of expression, it's still within us, but we learn how to hold it back. We learn that, okay, if I do cry, I'm not going to be able to play anymore, or I'm going to get punished, or I'm an adult now, and, whatever it is, whatever that thing is. And basically that expression, that, okay, so your ability to play and to stay in the moment and have fun, or to cry when something happens, or to ask for your needs. If you see candy, if there's a stranger, like I'm not asking you guys to be like weird about it, but if you're in Target and you see a stranger, like if a child sees a stranger opening up a candy bar, they'll be like, like kids have a radar for the things that they want. Like they'll be like, oh, whatever that is, I want it. Like they will stare you down. And some kids will actually walk up and be like, I want a piece. Like, I don't even know you, homie. Like, I don't know you, but here you go. If your parents say it's cool, then it's cool, right? And then you have the other kids who are shy and they're not as, forward. They're not as not aggressive, but they're not as extroverted. They're introverted. And they need support. They're like, yo, I'm scared. Like, I don't know you. Stranger danger. Y'all didn't even have to tell me to say that. Like, I realize that, strangers I'm not comfortable with this. Like, I don't like that. You don't have to teach me about stranger danger, because it is instinctively wired in me to feel like, stranger dangers. So, and that's the thing, is that some of you guys introverts have learned, and you actually call yourself ambiverts, because you've learned how to exist in an extroverted world, because introverted people aren't being supported. But if you, in your happy place, were just being all of who you are, you would be acknowledged for the fact that you're uncomfortable and that you don't like this, or that you need quiet time, or you don't want to go on the freaking roller coaster ride, or you just want to eat funnel cake and chill, and that's what makes you happy. That's what it is that I mean by saying that you have a song on your heart. That song is your expression. That is your truth. That is your music. It is so uniquely your own. And at some point at the full moon, at the Leo full moon, it's like you're being called out to sing that song, to express that song, to express that truth. Maybe it doesn't need to be shared with everyone, because the reality is not everyone is going to respect your music. Not everyone is going to appreciate your music. And we see that all the time. I was just talking to my like door woman actually, and she was just like, "Oh my God, I follow you on Instagram." It was the sweetest thing. So if you're watching right now, then shout out to you. She's amazing. She's like boss mode. Like she is on it all the time. Like no one can get in. Like no one. She stays on it. Very professional. Yeah. So she was like, "I follow you on YouTube," and she was saying like the crystal bowls, because I had the crystal bowls, and she saw me playing the crystal bowls, and I was like, "Yeah, well, I don't know how my neighbors are going to feel about it, because they might not appreciate it." Like there's people who, like, if I was to play country music for 24 hours or an hour really loud, I'm sure people would be like, some people might like it and some people might not. Same thing with rap music or classical music or bossa nova or screamo or whatever. So it's like not everyone's going to appreciate it, and that's not necessarily a good or a bad thing. It just is what it is. But at some point, you have to sing your song. You have to express yourself. You have to speak your truth, right? And that's what this full moon is really challenging you to do. And Aquarius energy is beautiful because it doesn't give a fuck usually what other people think about it. It is known to be eccentric. It's known to be unique. And I'm saying Aquarius because the sun is in the sign of Aquarius. So don't have you guys be like, "Jess, the full moon's happening in the sign of Leo. Why are you talking about Aquarius?" Well, that's what makes the full moon full, is the fact that the moon's over here in, I'm sorry. Wow, I blanked. In Leo. I was about to say Pisces, but it's because I'm talking about Mercury. As soon as I did it, like Spirit was like, "Whoop, nope." And then the sun is in the sign of Aquarius. So the sun shows, again, this is the life force energy that says you should not give a fuck what anybody thinks about you. Go ahead and create. Go ahead and put yourself out there. Go ahead and take that leap of faith. Go ahead and make a move. You might be looked at as weird. You might be unsupported. You might have to detach from your comfort zone. It may not even logically make sense. It may emotionally feel bad, but do it regardless, because this is your heart's song. This is your heart's truth. It's good to protect it, but it's not good to hide it forever. All right? So that's my message for you guys today. I will say that moving forward into the Futura, on the 17th, Mercury is going to go retrograde. Do not drag Mercury retrograde. I swear to God. Don't drag Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde is one of the best things ever. But I just want to let you guys know, because on the 17th is when you're going to have this opportunity to kind of revisit things. And I want you guys to plan ahead for it. So any mistake that it is that you feel like you might make, Mercury retrograde is going to be like, all right, well, when you did that, this happened, or you're going to have a second chance or a third chance or a fourth chance or a fifth chance to try again. And we don't even expect perfection. We just want you to try. That's what Mercury retrograde's blessing is. It says we don't really expect perfection. We just want to hear from you. We want to see you. We want to, what do you got to say? Like, I've been thinking about you. You've been thinking about me. I've been picking up on your vibes. You've been picking up on my vibes. Or it's like, this is something that I need to do for myself. And I tried to make the time, but I failed at it. Like I just couldn't get it right. Mercury retrograde says, try it again. Try it again. Because it's important. If it wasn't important, it wouldn't be resurfacing back up. And it's your discernment. It's you knowing your heart and you knowing yourself that says, I'm going to give this a second chance. I'm going to give this a third chance, a fourth chance, a fifth chance. I'm going to give it a try. But that's your heart's truth saying, okay, this is good. This is right with me. If it's not good and right for you, which you would know, and if you don't know, then it's okay for you to not make any moves and to wait until you do know, right? The right things for you will not pass you, and that is the truth. All right, you guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for tuning into this Astro Live chat. I mean, come on. They are just so good. Like, these chats are so good. And I really appreciate those of you guys that thumbed up the videos. We have about, what? That's the thing. We have 784 people. We had 800 people here at the beginning and only 300 likes. That means 400 of you guys actively chose not to thumbs up this video, but you benefited from it. Wow. Wow. I see how you do. That is messed up. So go ahead and if you don't want to thumbs up the video, which I don't know what your deal is. I don't even like pay attention to those things. I don't pay attention to likes or anything like that. But go ahead and thumbs it up. Esoteric Maharaja 111 says stingy ass. For real though. Okay, see now look at it. It's 444. All right, fine. That's cool with me. But yeah, definitely if you're not comfortable with thumbsing it up, which no one would see it, but definitely go ahead and share these messages. Share with your tribe, with your community. Talk about it. That's the best way. If you do benefit from these videos and you hear someone talking about astrology, be like, yo, there's this girl. Her name is Jess from Bahati Life. I follow her on Instagram. She's the truth. She's my everything. I'm her everything. What we got is special. Then those are conversations that you would like. I really do appreciate, and I feel you guys when you're out there talking about me. I can like feel the vibes. I can totally feel the vibes. It encourages me in what it is that I do. Granted, I would be doing it regardless, but it just gives me a little bit more pep in my step as I'm doing it, and I appreciate it more when I get that positive feedback, when I get those shares, when I see you guys tagging me and stuff and whatnot. I really appreciate it. Yeah. So on that note, I really appreciate this time that we have. Thank you so much for being here with me. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I wish you nothing but the best. High intentions, high vibes, and I'll see you next Monday for the next Astro Live chat. Sacred Circle Tarot School, we are going live tomorrow at 7 p.m. So we're going to be diving into the tarot again. Okay? Bye. End stream, end stream, end stream, end stream, end.